My roommate demanded I move out because his girlfriend was jealous of our lifelong friendship, so I left and got our parents involved, then came back and banned her from the apartment, and she had a meltdown in the lobby. My roommate Rhett told me I had to move out by the end of the month because his girlfriend Marlo didn't feel comfortable with another woman living in the apartment. I laughed because I thought he was joking. He wasn't joking. We were standing in the kitchen of the 2-bedroom condo in River North that our parents had bought together as a co-investment when we were both 23. We are now 28. Rhett and I have been best friends since we were 4 years old. Our moms met in a mommy and me class and decided their kids were going to be siblings, whether we liked it or not. We liked it. We went to the same elementary school, the same high school, the same college. We have separate bedrooms, separate bathrooms, and a strict no dating each other rule that we set in 7th grade and have honored without difficulty because Rhett is, to me, a brother. Marlo had been dating him for 4 months. I came home from work that Wednesday, and Rhett was sitting at the kitchen island with his hands folded like he was about to fire me from a job. He said Marlo had been expressing concerns and that she felt the living situation wasn't appropriate for a serious relationship. He said she'd cried about it 3 nights in a row. He said he loved her and he needed me to be understanding. He said I had 30 days. I asked him if he remembered who'd co-signed the mortgage. He said, our parents. I asked him if he remembered whose name was on the deed. He said, both of ours. I asked him if he'd talked to his mother about this. He went very quiet. I packed an overnight bag. I drove to my parents' house in the suburbs. My mom opened the door, took one look at my face, and called Rhett's mom on speakerphone before I'd even sat down. Rhett's mom is named Diane, and Diane does not play. Diane listened to the whole story without interrupting. Then Diane said, put me on with his father. Within 40 minutes, both sets of parents were on a 4-way call. The condo had been bought with a structured agreement. Each family had contributed half the down payment. Each kid was on the deed equally. And the agreement specifically stated that neither of us could force the other out without unanimous parental consent. Rhett's parents had not been consulted. They were, to put it lightly, displeased. Diane drove into the city the next morning. I rode with her because I wanted to see this in person. We walked into the condo at 10 a.m., and Marlo was there in one of Rhett's shirts, drinking coffee out of my mug, with her feet on my coffee table. Diane introduced herself. Marlo stood up too fast and spilled coffee on the rug. Diane sat Rhett down at the kitchen island and explained, in a very calm voice, that the condo was not his to give away, that I was on the deed, that I had every legal right to remain, that if he wanted to live with Marlo, he was welcome to find his own apartment, but the condo was a family asset, and family assets were not subject to 4-month-old girlfriends. She also told him that if he ever again tried to push his sister out of a home she half-owned, she'd be having a much longer conversation with him about the trust in his name. Rhett went the color of skim milk. Marlo started talking. Diane held up one finger and Marlo stopped talking. Diane turned to me and said, you're the homeowner. What do you want? I said I wanted Marlo banned from the apartment for 90 days while Rhett and I figured out how to live together again. Diane nodded. Rhett nodded. Marlo did not nod. Marlo started crying and saying that I was manipulating everyone and that I had always been in love with Rhett and that this was exactly what she'd been afraid of. Diane handed Marlo her purse and walked her to the door. Marlo's meltdown started in the elevator and continued in the lobby. The doorman, a very patient man named Hugo, told me later she sat on the marble bench for an hour calling Rhett 26 times. Rhett did not answer. Diane had taken his phone. Marlo eventually left. Rhett apologized to me that night, a real one, not Marlo coached. He cried. I told him I forgave him, but the ban was non-negotiable, and if he wanted to keep dating her, he could do it at her place. He broke up with her 11 days later. He told me she'd issued a new ultimatum the second she got him alone. Hearing it the second time made it obvious. I still live in the condo. Rhett still lives across the hall from me. Diane sends us a grocery delivery every other Sunday. Hugo waves at me when I come home.